In this video, improve your English and gain experience by listening to a speech about an interesting topic.
Hi, I'm Eric. Welcome to We Do Topic Talks. Topic Talks is where I make a speech about an interesting topic. This is made for people who want to practice English. You can listen to my example now and then try to answer a few questions at the end of the video. Today's topic is running away from home. First of all, what does it mean when I say running away from home? We're talking about children who try to escape from their families. And when I considered this topic, I thought there were two kinds of running away from home. I think there are two categories. For some kids, running away from home is a kind of adventure. Some kids don't want to deal with responsibility, and they don't want to live in a world of chores, homework, waking up and going to bed on time. They want to make their own rules, and they want to live in their own world. On the other hand, running away from home can have a darker meaning too. For some kids, it's a way of escaping torture. Hopefully, you have all had peaceful and pleasant homes to live in during your childhoods. But unfortunately, some kids face abuse, fear, and pain every day. This is reality. And these kids want to run away from home because anything's better than living with their horrible families. It's like they're trying to survive. But like I said, for most people, when I say running away from home, we're talking about childhood fantasy. It's probably common for children to dream of escaping reality. When we're very young, life seems like a dream in many ways. We don't know anything about work or daily news. Instead, all little kids do is play and watch cartoons. A child's life could be like a Disneyland adventure. And nowadays it's not so common. But in the old days, movies and novels often used to tell stories about young people who were running away. There are so many stories to think about, from Tom Sawyer, the American classic, to Dumbo, The Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan, and later The Catcher in the Rye. And many stories involve children who go out into the world without their parents, whether they're abandoned, like in Home Alone, or taken away to a fantasy world, like in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or Alice in Wonderland, or Harry Potter. The heroes of many runaway stories are young people who go out into the world by themselves or just with some friends. These characters are smart, energetic, and independent. They can solve any problem. But without experience, they don't understand how society really works. Instead of listening to their parents and teachers, they want to make their own lives. And when they run away from home, they have many wonderful moments. They see beautiful landscapes, meet strange characters, and get to know all kinds of new places and things. In these stories, the characters enjoy a real adventure, and they don't have to follow any rules their parents give them. But soon, the kids realize that life isn't so easy all the time. There's a dark side also. First, they may become hungry, but without their mother preparing a meal for them, they don't have any way to get food. They could get sick, and they might feel cold, but they don't have a comfortable, warm bed to sleep in. Also, they may meet some dangerous people like some older kids who want to hurt them, but without their parents, they can't protect themselves. In their life at home, adults were nice and safe. They were the people you could trust. But in this kind of story, the runaway kids meet different kinds of adults. Sometimes they meet a person who seems like a nice, safe adult, kind of like a family member who wants to protect them. But soon, we learn that this is not a nice person. Instead of protecting the runaway kids, some adults want to use them and abuse them. So, in the end, these kids who run away begin to gain some wisdom. And through this experience, the child who ran away from home learns that there are good people in this world, but there are bad people too. Some places are safe and wonderful, but some places are really dangerous and scary. After all, they realize there's no place like home. Anyway, it's becoming a long story, but I guess I should tell you my own runaway story. I never ran away from home, but I was the kind of child who wanted to. Actually, I ran away from summer camp. You see, in the old days, summer camp was really common. It was an experience that a lot of kids had. In the US, summer vacation is 2 months, sometimes longer. And parents don't want their kids to waste this time. They want their kids to continue learning and growing, not just being lazy, sitting on the sofa all day. In school, we learn from books, but many people think it's good to learn from active experience. At summer camp, you swim, hike, cook, make things with your hands, and do a lot more too. So for many parents, summer camp was a good way for kids to learn about things they couldn't get from books in school. And maybe my parents thought that it would be perfect for me. I like adventure. I like animals and nature, sports, and I love learning about new things. But the problem is, I wasn't good at making friends. I didn't like to talk to or play with people I didn't know. And all the other boys at summer camp were kids I didn't know. They were all strangers to me. But we had to play together, work together, even sleep and eat together. I hated that. I wanted to be by myself. So I ran away. One day while we were taking a hike, we took a break to rest and enjoy the view. I used this opportunity to hide from the others. I went behind some bushes, and then I hiked away in a different direction. And I escaped. I ran away. The others couldn't find me, and they went back to the camp. I was out there in the forest by myself. I didn't really know what to do, so I went to the top of the highest mountain. Then I climbed a tree on top of a cliff. From there, I rested on a big tree branch and stayed there. Eventually, it got dark. It was nighttime. I was hungry, of course, but I was surprised by how cold it got. It was too cold, so I decided to come down and return to camp. But it was cold, and climbing down a tree is harder than climbing up a tree. So I fell out of the tree. And like I said, this tree was at the top of a mountain on the side of a cliff. So when I fell out of the tree, I fell down the side of the mountain too. I got scratched by many branches and bushes and rocks, so I guess it looked like I was attacked by a mountain lion. When I returned, the people were shocked and scared, but I was okay. When my parents came to pick me up, the camp staff was a little worried, but my mother just laughed, and she said that this was something I would do. Maybe it's just my personality. Questions 1. Fill in the blanks with the correct expressions. If you would like to try to answer a few questions now, you can just pause the video and think about each one. Then, when you're ready, I'll show you the answers in a few seconds. Are you ready? Here are the correct answers. Number 1. Some kids don't want to deal with responsibility, and they don't want to live in a world of chores. Number 2. Instead of listening to their parents and teachers, they want to make their own lives. Number 3. They see beautiful landscapes, meet strange characters, and get to know all kinds of new places and things. Number 4. They want their kids to continue learning and growing. Number 5. I was surprised by how cold it got. It was too cold. Questions 2. Match the words that have the same meanings. One more time. If you would like to try to answer a few questions, just pause the video and try. Then, in a few seconds, when you're ready, I'll show you the correct answers. Are you ready? Here are the answers. Number 1. Many stories include, feature, involve children who go into the world by themselves. Number 2. I guess it seemed like, looked like, appeared as though I was attacked by a mountain lion. Number 3. Nowadays, it's not so common, but in the old days, back in the day, years ago, novels used to tell stories about young people who ran away. So that was my speech about running away. It's an interesting topic, and I have a lot more to say. I often enjoyed those fantasy stories about kids who ran away and made their own lives using intelligence and creativity. But this speech was too long anyway. So I would love to hear about your own thoughts and experiences. Feel free to participate in the conversation. I hope that by listening to me talk about my own experience, it becomes a good example for you. And maybe you can get some ideas about how to tell your own stories. To improve your English speaking ability, you need experience and you need to practice. But for now, please push the like button below the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Thank you.